Aloha, you're watching F5 at VMworld 2015 from the city by the bay, San Francisco. F5 and VMware have been partners for over 8 years, and I'm thrilled to have Phil DeLamont. He's the Director of Business Development, handling such partnerships like VMware. Always great to see you, Phil.
Thanks a lot.
Now, you might not know this, but the first video we did together, Phil, was back at VMworld 2010, 5 years ago.
It's been a while, yeah.
Now, I watched it the other day, and we could have shot it yesterday. We haven't aged a bit.
Oh, that's good to hear.
So here at VMworld 2015, Phil, can you tell us some of the highlights that are going on from an F5 perspective?
Yeah, well, one of the things that's different this year that's really cool, and it's not just at VMworld, but it's going to be available for the future as well. So if you're not at the show, that's okay. You can still get these.
Cool.
Is we've got 2 hands-on labs. If you've ever been to VMworld and you've been to a hands-on lab, it's really cool. You sit down at a desk, you get to deploy the stuff, they walk you through it. There's no marketing fluff.
Right.
You get to play with it and see it in action. So we've got 2 hands-on labs at the VMworld event. And you'll be able to log in afterwards and access them as well. So one of them is F5 and AirWatch.
Okay.
So AirWatch, a lot of you are familiar. It's a recent acquisition for VMware. It's all about mobile device management and secure access. And then the other one is around Horizon. So their Horizon View product, which is all about virtual desktops and remote access. And we've got a really great hands-on lab for that as well. So if you play with these, you will get a really good idea of what F5 and VMware are doing to integrate those products together.
And that's really all part of their end user computing suite, isn't it?
It is, that's correct, yep.
So enabling onboarding of employees and then allowing them access from any device to then get access to whether it be their VDI, their virtual workspace, and other such business resources.
Exactly,
right?
Whatever the device is, you know, wherever you're coming from, whatever you're trying to access in terms of applications, you should be able to get there at any time from anywhere. And that's really what VMware is pushing, and we help enable that.
Sure, and it's kind of cool that if you're not at the show, you're still able to check this out online. It's on VMware's site, right?
Yep, if you just Google VMware and hands-on labs, you'll be able to find the catalog, and you'll be able to go into the F5 hands-on labs.
And we got another demo you wanted to talk about, don't we?
Yeah, there's another thing we're really excited about. We first showed it at our Agility event in Washington, D.C. a couple weeks ago, and we're showing it here as well. It's the most comprehensive F5 VMware demo that we've ever done. So what we have done here is we've taken the Horizon View product, which is their virtual desktop product, and we've paired it up with NSX, which is their network virtualization product, and we've also combined it with the Big IP Local Traffic Manager, which is load balancing all the connection brokers, and we've added in some security pieces, so our Application Firewall Manager, and we've added in our Application Policy Manager, a lot of acronyms in there.
Yeah.
But the point is, what we're showing is how you can do a soup to nuts solution where we enable you to provision and onboard new employees. You can give them certain permissions, certain access rights. You provision all the layer 2 through layer 7 services through NSX that are necessary to get those desktops up and running.
Right.
And then we secure them pretty tightly, so you can only access the resources you're allowed to access officially, and you can only access from certain devices that we approve you to access it from. But all of this happens very, very quickly. Normally it would take days of hands-on work to get it up and running and checking and avoiding fat fingers. What we've done is automate the whole sequence, and we use vRealize Orchestrator to do it. So this is VMware's orchestration tool, and it's a really great way to build workflows that can essentially allow you to simplify otherwise really complex events.
And I was just going to ask you that. So over the years we have done a number of integrations, and they've been these solutions that address such things like network virtualization or the VDI or end user computing, et cetera, et cetera. Right. But this particular solution actually uses vRealize, and it kind of brings all the solutions together in a management frame, doesn't it?
That's right, that's right. So VMware's been building out their vRealize suite pretty aggressively, and a lot of customers are starting to use it. And they use it to manage all of their data center pieces, including their F5 investments. So local traffic manager, global traffic manager, all those pieces, they are essentially managing with their vRealize suite. So there's a couple interesting things. What we used in that big comprehensive demo I just described was the orchestrator, vRealize Orchestrator. But there's a few other things that we do as well. So they've got a product called vRealize Log Insight, which is essentially a log analysis tool, right?
Okay.
A forensics tool. So you can take all the big IP logs, funnel them into vRealize Log Insight, and understand what's happening in your environment. So we can do that. VMware's come out with a content pack for that, or a management pack. And then there's also a product that is very well known. I think a lot of customers that I've talked to at the show here are already using it. It's called vRealize Operations.
Okay.
And so what that is you think of it as at a high level, your red light, green light, what's working, what's not in the data center, what are the causes, allows you to troubleshoot things. So you can also have your big IPs showing up in there. And we have a third party that we've worked with, both VMware and F5 together, to produce this plugin. And that's what these guys do, is they produce plugins for vRealize Operations. So we now have one for big IP. And we've been looking forward to this for a while, and we're doing demos at the show for this plugin, and it'll be GAing in about a month or so. So we're very excited about that. So we touch that whole suite.
And as you manage a number of these, solutions across the board, that analysis and insight is key to make those, those informed decisions on how to then roll out new services.
Right.
So for organizations that do deploy F5 and VMware together in unison, integrated, what are some of the IT and business benefits that they get from that?
Right. Well, like you said earlier, we've been doing this for 8 years now. So we think a lot about, okay, in 8 years, where have we come? What have we done with this partnership, and how have we brought these all these different technologies together, ultimately for the benefit of customers? We're trying to make their lives easier. We're trying to enable them to move faster, right? That's one of the things we hear so often from customers, is it takes too long. I don't have weeks to provision my apps, or months. I have hours or days.
He's asking me now.
That's right. I have to do it faster. And so anything we can do to help them move faster is something they really look forward to. And that's what most of what we have done with VMware has been about, is enabling customers to get those applications deployed faster. You don't want to give up security when you do that. So we have to make the security aspects even easier to do, and we have to automate them as much as possible. When you move that virtual machine, we want the security policy to follow it, right? We don't want you to have to fat finger in all sorts of configurations. We want it to be as automatic as possible. And the idea is you spend less time configuring your network. I mean, obviously, F5 is focused on application delivery services of all kinds, right? Acceleration, security, optimization. And what we want to do is enable customers to use the services that they've known and loved for 15 years at F5 in this new world of a completely software-defined data center.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, you have to automate and orchestrate it. You have to make it faster. And that's really, if I had to boil it all down, that's what we're doing with VMware.
And really making it faster, not only does it save time, but that ultimately becomes the key when the total cost of ownership, the ROI, the value from the solutions.
Yeah.
If you can reduce time and reduce errors, that's pretty big.
That's right. That's right.
Excellent stuff, Phil. It's always fun talking with you.
Thanks, Pete.
Good to see you after, we see each other often, but on camera, our 5th year anniversary being on camera, it's great.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot more about the F5 and VMware partnership, some very specific and cool stuff that's going on here at VMworld, the show itself, but also opportunities for you to also check it out online if you're not here at the show. Always appreciate your time, Phil. For Phil, covering our VMware partnership, I got my producers, Nathan and Swanti, behind the lens. I'm Peter, and we're with F5 Networks. Thanks for watching.